Hey, welcome back. It's Sky here from webgeeks.net, and on today's this is the continuous tutorial of XML Part 1. And excuse me if you're watching this, newcomer watching this. I do have a cold, so excuse me on that one. Okay, so now that we have this, you left off it with like 2 of them. Just add like 4 more, copy and paste them. And while you're copying and pasting them, just listen to this. The autonomy of an XML document. An XML document such as the example document you just typed consists of 2 main parts, the prologue and the document element. The document element is known as the root element. Excuse me. Alright, the prologue of the example consists of 3 lines. Now the 3 lines are at the top right here. 1, 2, which is blank, number 2 is empty, and number 3 is the file name. That's the prologue. The first line is the Xml Declaration, which states that this is an XML document and gives the version number. At the time of this writing, the latest XML version was 1.0, which is still 1.0, I'm pretty sure. The Xml Declaration is an optional, although the specification states that should be included. If you do not include an XML declaration, it must appear at the beginning of the document. The second line of the prologue consists of white space. To enhance readability, you can insert any amount of white space between items in the prologue. That means you can have like 1 through 10 lines. So you can end at 3 could be at 11 and 1 could be at 1, and you have all that blank space. Doesn't matter. Okay. Between items, or to enhance readability, you can insert an amount of white space between items in prologue. The XML processor ignores it, so it's fine. The third line of the prologue is a comment. Adding comments to an XML document is optional, but doing this so can increase the document's readability, which means it's easier to read. You understand what it is. A comment begins with the arrow to the left, exclamation mark, 3 dashes, and a character it ends with is 2 dashes, and to the right arrow. Such as up at the top here where it says file name, inventory in gray. You can type any text you want except dash dash between these 2 groups of characters. The XML processor will ignore it. That means it will not show because it's a note. Okay. The prologue can also contain the following optional components. Number 1, a document type declaration which defines the type and structure of the document if used. The document type declaration must come after the XML declaration. Alright, number 2. 1 or more processing instructions which provide information that the XML processor passes on to the application. Later in this chapter, or later in this video, you'll see a processing instruction for linking a style sheet to an XML document. This is something you want to note and remember in your head. The XML processor is a software module that reads the XML document and provides access to the document's content. It provides this access to another software module called the application, which manipulates and displays the document's contents. When you display an XML document in Internet Explorer 5 or whatever browser you're using, the browser provides you with an XML processor and at least part of the application. If you write HTML and script code to display an XML application or XML document, you supply part of the application yourself. Note that the term application as used here is not the same thing as an XML application or vocabulary, which I defined in Chapter 1, which we didn't go over Chapter 1, but doesn't matter, as a general purpose set of elements and document structure that can be used to describe documents of a particular type. Alright, I hope you guys noted that down. If you didn't, just rewind the video. The second main part of the XML document is a single element known as the document element, or root element, which can contain additional elements. An XML document, the elements indicate the logic structure of the document. and contain the document's information content, which in the example document is the book information, such as where it says book and then slash book. Everything between there is the book info. Information such as titles, authors, names, and prices. A typical element consists of a start tag, which is book, the element content, and then an end tag, which is slash book. The element content can be character, data, other nested elements, or combination of both. Alright, here's another note you might want to remember. The text in an XML document consists of an intermingled markup and character data. Markup is delimited text that describes the structure of the document, namely element start tags, element end tags, empty element tags, comments, document type declarations, processing instructions, C data, section delimiterants, entity references, and character references. You'll learn about each of these type of markups in the later videos. All other text is character data. The actual information content of this document in the example document, the titles, author names, prices, and other book information. In the example document, the document element inventory, its start tag is inventory and its end tag is slash inventory, and its content is 8 nested book elements. Well, I only have like 5 or 6 here, but the nested book elements are like book, slash book, and what's in between. Now, here's another note. You might want to remember this one too. The document element in an XML document is similar to the body element in an HTML page. So if you're good with HTML, you'll probably be good with XML. Except that you can't assign it any legal name. So yeah. I'm going to stop here and go on to part 3 so we don't run out of time and it won't take forever to upload to YouTube. So please rate, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I'll see you next video in like 5 minutes. Alright, peace.